Hello ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Dork Side. It is I, your friendly neighborhood dork in the garage. And today I'm going to tell you how I spent 10 bucks and made my Versys seat 10,000 times more comfortable. Alright ladies and gentlemen, as you can see, this is my 2016 Kawasaki Versys 650 LT, but from what I've read and heard, this seat mod works on nearly all models of Versys. So, if you have a Versys and you've noticed that the seat slopes forward at a very uncomfortable angle, causing possible testicular trauma, and at the very least discomfort, then this mod is for you. Definitely worth checking out before you start spending a bunch of money on a new seat or more expensive options, modifications to your bike. So you may see this guy running around. This is Chewbacca. Chewie! Hi Chewie, that's Chewbacca, that's the dog. Sorry if he's distracting, but he's here, he's helping. So, this is the seat, and as you can see, I've lifted it up here just a bit, just enough to level this seat off so it doesn't have that uncomfortable slant forward that I was not a fan of when I first rode the bike. And I'll show you exactly how I did that. Well, what I did was I raised up the front of the seat, and I'll walk you through that process in a second. But let me show you what you need to do this mod first and prove to you that it's less than $10. So here on the bench is everything I used to put this mod on the bike and some of the spare parts because I got too much, because I didn't know exactly what I was going to need. The tools you will need, I used a hacksaw to saw off the pieces of the hinge that I'll show you in a minute, so that was handy to have. And this is a 10 millimeter socket and socket wrench. That's really convenient. Here's my Home Depot receipt with all the things I bought on it. And you can see the total here is $11.68, but I've got a few pieces I ended up not using, and so I bet it would be right at 10 bucks if you bought all the right stuff. So here's what I got. I bought two, these are M6 1 millimeter by 40 millimeter metric zinc plated cap screws. I got all this stuff at Home Depot. Their metric section is small, but they do have it. They were out of the 45s. I think if you want to go a little higher than I have or have a little bit more peace of mind with the amount of bolt that's screwed into the bottom, a 45 might be better. They didn't have any when I did it. The 40 worked, but they're a little bit longer. These are the stock screws that came out of it. So just keep that in mind. So you need two of those. Okay, this is a 3-inch door hinge. Seems like a weird thing to want or need for a motorcycle seat, but you're not concerned with the hinge part. The useful part is this, the plate, and these holes are already exactly the right width for the bolts underneath the seat. Saves you the trouble of drilling something or creating something, fabricating something. You just buy that 3-inch door hinge. I did have to, like I said, hacksaw off the hinge part, but that wasn't too awful. And I'm not a fabricator, so that was the best way, easiest way for me to get it. I got this idea, by the way, the idea of using the door hinge and really the mod itself from KawasakiVersys.com, the forums. And so if you are a Versys owner and you haven't checked that place out, it's a really great resource. I would recommend it. Two cap screws. I bought this door hinge. I bought 4 3-packs of 3/16 inches by 1 inch fender washers. And as you can see, I have 2 left. So I did need all 4 packs. So you will need 4 packs of those. And then I bought 4, I don't know where the other thing is, but I bought 4 nylon spacers. These are 3/8 inch by 1 inch by 3/8 inch nylon spacers to use as spacers. These are Everbuilt. Again, all out of the same aisle at Home Depot. I have 2 left over, so I probably only needed 2 of those, but I didn't know. Again, now you do. You're welcome. You might even be able to order this stuff from Home Depot online. I don't know. So this is all the materials I used, so that you get a sense of what's required, what you need to get. I'll try to remember to put a list in the description, and if I forget, remind me, and I will at least figure out a way to put what's on this receipt in there. But here's a close-up of the receipt with the amount on it, if you're curious. And the way that you do this mod, I'm going to take this with me because I'm going to need it to take this apart. Pretty simple once you know what you're doing. It took me a minute to figure that out. So I haven't seen a video of this. I've seen the pictures of it after it's done, but I haven't seen anyone do the actual install, so I want to try to show you that. So first thing you're going to need, also, the other tool is your key for your Versys, because to unlatch the seat, you got to get right here. You see that right there? If you haven't taken your seat off, that's where it is. You just turn the key and it'll unlatch it. In the back here, just pull it off. Okay, simple enough. If you have another motorcycle, it's a great place to set it. I keep a few things under my seat, so this is just an emergency backpack in case I ever buy something that I'm not sure I'm going to get home on the bike. Toolkit, got a cargo net there too, but this is the mod, so if you want to get an idea what it looks like when it's finished, this is it. You see the spacer, there's another washer underneath, and then there's 3 washers here, because you need a little space between your plate and this is the front seat bracket. of the Versys. And you can see on the front right here where I hacksawed, didn't do a great job, but I'm just like my fingers are going to be in here. Hacksawed off the hinge part of the hinge, and I had to do that because it was rubbing on the tank. You can see it there. It wouldn't fit any lower. It wouldn't fit low enough for me to get the bolt screwed in, so I took it apart. So I'll take this off and show you the order in which the things go so that you can reassemble it yourself in the reverse order, if that makes any sense. So we'll just loosen these up. Pretty tight. This has been, I've had this mod on the bike for, I don't know, a month now, a couple months. I did it pretty soon after I got it, and it's made a huge difference in the comfort. So if you're at all thinking about doing something about your seat, I would recommend this first before you go crazy buying a new seat, because it's made a big difference. I still kind of want a seat concept seat or something, but the bike is now tolerable on long rides, and before it was questionable. Okay, so I'm gonna pull this off upside down so you can see what I did. All right, so you see, and the order's sort of important. I just didn't, well, except for this one, I just didn't want to be putting all the pressure on that nylon spacer, but these three washers, you need something in here. And if it's not about this same height, then your front of your seat is gonna be loose. And so I had to play with it a lot, take it apart, put it back together to get this exact height. So I would recommend 3 washers, that's what I've got in here. No, that's 4, I can't count. I would recommend 4 washers directly underneath the seat bracket. Then your door hinge, you see I didn't have to drill it out because the holes were in exactly the right spot, but I did have to, again, hacksaw this off, so make sure you do that. So it's, here, I'll do it right side up so it's easier to see. So from the bottom, if you're putting this together, washer, spacer, hinge, 4 more washers, and then your 40mm bolts and your seat bracket. And once that's all put together, which is a little bit of a juggling act, but isn't too bad, you just screw it in to the holes you had before, because you got the right size bolts. They should go right in. I'm not going to show you what it looks like without the bracket because I don't want to take this whole thing apart, but if you've seen a stock Versys, you can tell the slope. You know what I'm talking about. So just tighten this back down, or tighten it down for the first time. We'll be tightening it back down, I guess, because you're just taking it apart first. Should get it good and tight, because you don't want your seat flying off while you're riding down the road. Okay, see, good and tight. I could lift the bike up by that if I had to. But you may be asking, maybe you're wondering, what's the purpose of this door hinge? And it's because this front bracket, the seat has a little notch, a little tab that goes in here, right, like this. And so the bracket not only holds it down, but it also holds it up. And so if you don't have this here, your seat's just gonna go like this. It's gonna wobble and you won't get the lift that you need. So you definitely need that lift. And to get that's the whole point of the mod. And so if you don't have a plate of some kind, some guys have used wood. I've seen guys use aluminum, scrap aluminum. I saw one guy 3D printing pieces for this on KawasakiVersys.com. But you need something because this gap has to stay about the same size. So that's why you need the plate. All right, so got it back on there. I'll throw my backpack back in there. The other thing, some people have a concern that this opens up a little bit of a gap between your seat and your bike. And so it makes it so the battery is a little bit more exposed. And so I feel like not only just having that backpack in there handy in case I need it, but it also gives the battery a little protection from the elements. And I didn't get it under there exactly like I normally do. You gotta play with it a little bit to find the right spot. But once you do, you can tell, and then she snaps right back in. Okay, don't forget to take your key out. So normally, stock, this sits down into this groove, so your major difference here is this space. I have not noticed, it doesn't pinch my leg, I haven't noticed anything negative from it, other than, like I said, maybe a little bit more exposure to the undercarriage or to the battery and stuff underneath there, but if you're concerned about it, you could put something in there like the backpack I have, or there's no metal at all in that backpack, by the way. It's 100% plastic and nylon. Or you find another way to seal it if you're worried about it, but lots of guys have used this mod from what I can tell on Versys.com, KawasakiVersys.com, and no complaints. So that's what it looks like. You can't even hardly tell it's on there if you don't know what you're looking for. There's also a little gap here. But comfort-wise, it's greatly improved it. It's made a huge difference for me. So I would highly, highly recommend this mod, honestly. So if you have any questions, I missed anything, because it's not clear how that went on there. It's pretty simple. It's a job that I did in 10 minutes one night. The thing that took the longest was hacksawing that door hinge apart. It's a 3-inch door hinge. Did I say that? But if you have any questions, please let me know. A lot of you have been asking for this video, so I wanted to make sure I put it up for you. But there it is, the $10 Kawasaki Versys seat mod. And good luck with it. Hope you make that work on your bike, and it improves your experience the way that it has for me. So, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for watching. And as always, don't forget to be excellent to each other. Thank you.